Hello and good morning, and welcome to the Allegedly Show Live. I figured we had a few things to cover, and since Chris is on his birthday for his vacation, I'll still bring you the hot topics for the day. Mm. This morning's roast and rage is brought to you by Amazon's hazelnut coffee. Yes. So last night, as I was laying my head down to sleep, I saw that Masika Kalisha or Khalifa, Kalish, I don't know, Khaleesi, whatever. She made up like her last name. Had gotten into it with Brittany Griner on Twitter. And to watch 40-year-old or 40-year-old looking women go at each other on Twitter like this was a sight to behold. And it didn't warm the cockles of my heart, but it reminded me of the days when Rihanna would embarrass other girls like Tiana Taylor. Well, I said other girls, but like Sierra. However, let's get to the tweet reading, shall we? So Malika said that pushing your mama is the most disrespectful, disgraceful thing you can do. Jackie had every right to slap the fuck out of her. Girl, you can feel how you feel, but you lost the good sense God gave you putting hands on the lady that birthed you. Now, Masika, I guess this is coming from a woman who has had a normal and a loving relationship with her mother. Although, if you did have that, why did you turn to a career of sex work? I'd love to know, Masika. Maybe we could meet on the conversation since that seems to be your new job. I'd love to question you about your life choices. Brittany has, and that's why we're here. So, she then follows up this tweet with, and since we're on the topic, the way Brittany played with them people's religion to become that man's other wife is crazy. He took off and she took off them people's clothes. Now, I'm not going to say anything about Brittany's walk with the Lord. I'm not going to say the girl walk on by, go on. But does it seem inauthentic to me? Yes. Yes, it does. It seemed inauthentic. It seemed like a way to, in the words of Drea Michelle, delete wholeness, put a little tread back on that tire. But hey, get it how you live. Get it how you live. If you feel that, I'm going to use God in this gushy, go ahead. Go ahead. Who are me to judge? I ain't got a heaven and hell to put you in. But Brittany responded. Says baby mama number 3 who faked a kidnapping to promote their irrelevant OnlyFans. Since we're on the topic, religion is not exclusive. I never signed up to be one of several. People are allowed to change their minds, and plenty of relationships are meant to be but not meant to last. By 40 and fried. By 40 and fried. Masika says, girl, go to hell. Oh, wait, everybody's speaking the same truth about you, but you mad at me. Bringing up irrelevant deflections don't change the fact that you played with God for dick. She converted for the cock. That's not playing with God for dick. Please. And what did you do? Next week's you gonna be Buddhist for back shots? I mean, if it helps you reach nirvana, so be it. Christian for Christian Dior, girl, shut the fuck up and go pray. Now, I have to say, Masika, in the next messages, hold on, where'd I put my damn phone? Where'd the phone go? Hold on, maybe it's in this one. Because, girl, Brittany read you back, and she gave you a read you, wrote you on this. Okay. Of course, we got to have technical difficulties this morning. You must have had time today since nobody paid $4.99 to unlock an exclusive video of you losing a dildo in your gaping butthole on your OnlyFans. I haven't seen or heard about you in so long that I actually thought you really got kidnapped. You've got your nerve chiming in live at 5 from your living room, you drowsy-eyed dog-faced dingbat. You and everyone else wants my pussy, don't know how to ask for it, stay worried about what I do with it, yet you couldn't convince a nigga with one fucking eye to see your value. I'm going to end it there because she did. You could not convince a man with one eye to see your value. I guess this is fodder for another episode of The Conversation, but I think it's going to be more like the cuss out. The cuss out. I have to give Brittany Renner a full 5 points. Madam, excellent work. Excellent work. That was so delicious. It had to be fattening. That had to be at least 800 calories a word. 1,000 calories a syllable. Oh, my heart weeps for you. My heart weeps for a woman who could not get a man with one eye to see her value. My heart weeps. It weeps. I would say it's sad, but it's true. But it's true. Well, next up, Amanda Seales. One of my favorite topics. She did an Instagram recently saying how much she was not going to stop speaking on the woman that kicked her out of the Emmys party, her ex James, who still owes her $2,000, and Essence magazine. She said she is going to talk about it forever and ever and ever until the end of time. Till the end of time. And I mean, you can, but I think at this juncture in our 40s, in our fresh 40s, is anyone listening? The world has tried to warn you, and now we've begun to ignore you. For what and for why do you need to keep going on? The man owed you $2,000. Now, I'm sorry, you are too much of a smart, funny, and black woman to give no man $2,000 out your hand. I know you. You need to take the L on that one just so you don't look stupid out here paying for dick. But you're insufferable. I'm surprised he only got you for $2,000. He needed to charge you $2,000 a fucking month to put up with your shit. Oh, and then you gonna whine about Essence and a party you weren't invited to? Still, you're still gonna put that out saying I haven't learned about being, the fact that I'm not everybody's cup of tea and I don't have to thrust myself upon people. Girl, you ain't white, but you getting your Teddy Mellencamp on. Timothy Strathman said, but will people listen? And that is where we are with you, Amanda. Will people listen? Because you sound full on nutty boo. You really are now starting to sound not mentally with it. No longer cognitively together. You seem neurospicy. Something's going on upstairs. We don't know what, but it seems like a screw is loose And the common denominator is you whining about some ex-boyfriend that you owe you $2,000. Girl, who ain't got that? Well, I don't have that story because I didn't have $2,000. But again, what do I always say? Before you can be a maid, mattress, or mule, first you gotta be his fool. And as smart as you want to portray yourself to be, you out here catch that kind of stupid? Girl, this is why shutting up is an art form. You hear me talk about my personal life? No, you don't. Because shutting up is an art form. It's an art form. My God. Lord. And don't blame it on autism. I think it's something. I think it's something. And speaking of something and lessons that should have been learned, let's talk about this T app. So I'm chronically online. I love my TikTok, as you know. And I keep hearing about this T app, and it's telling men's business and all that. And now there's a data breach, and you can look up everybody by location with selfies and matching IDs. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all, people were stupid enough to give their ID to an app about telling people's business and didn't think that would go wrong. To also, nobody, like, I'm sorry, I remember when I was in high school, three-way calling came out. And that's when I got caught up in some literal high school gossip. And I got caught talking about a friend on three-way call, just like in Mean Girls, long before it was a plot line. Oh, yeah, I'm an originator. And then you learn not to do that shit and how to stay out of shit, and you move on. Do grown folks today not know that? Because, I mean, I just report the news. I don't make it. I never say according to me. It's according to Fulton County court documents. Argue with the documents. Don't argue with me. Child, I'm just telling what's already been told. And maybe there's a little joke about it. But maybe you're the punchline, my love. Maybe you're the punchline. But girl, well, y'all are the punchline. Whoever signed up for that website, they are the punchline now. And I feel like people are going to learn. I'm like, we're going to have a new lesson in mind your business. Because the people that also get on TikTok and other apps and say, I'm at so-and-so airport and I saw this man flirting with this woman and he had a wedding ring on, or I think he's married. Y'all gonna trip into somebody's open marriage and the wife is gonna mess you up for embarrassing her because she's like, look, what goes on in my marriage ain't your business. You trying to wreck my happy home. Now that heifer knows her place. Wife number two, we fine with wife number two. Your ass is the issue. They're gonna sit around and whomp your tail. Exactly. Play chasing waterfalls and keep your business out the street and keep out of other people's business. Out here, and then also on the internet, just believing what anonymous people post. That's a special kind of stupid. That's a special kind of stupid. But stupid is and stupid does, and that's why your ID is all over the internet. The coffee is delightful today. What else is going on? Oh, Lord. And I'm sorry, sissy news. David Geffen and his 2-year husband, they got married without a prenup. Now he's trying to divorce him. It's been 2 years. I'm like, girl, you 2 years? 2 years in, you married him at 80. You couldn't get, like, I'm sorry. When I said till death, I meant it. I'm going to wait on your ass But David Geffen tried to get him to sign a post-nup and he wouldn't. And I'm just like, now, I'm sorry, David, you got too much money to have these kind of problems. You pay this young gentleman when he walks in the door. It's called a threshold fee, dowry, however you want to slice it. It's a vesting schedule where, okay, if you divorce me, you get this much. After 2 years, you get this much, and so on and so forth. So that way, people know what they're getting. They got something to walk away with, and it protects your fortune. Now you're going to be in court whining about this at 82. You a messy sissy at 82. That's all that is. A messy sissy that can't plan at 80 fucking 2. You was disorganized when you came out the pussy, and you're going to be disorganized when you go back in it. I cannot. Widow money. I know. Here's the thing. When you talking David Geffen money, you ain't really getting shit. That's when you're so rich. Most of that money is in corporations and trusts that no one person truly has access to. That's when you have more money than your own good. It's what I like to call it. That ain't David Geffen's money. That's money that's written about, that's tied in with the corporation. That ain't money he even got access to. What do you have in the bank liquid? Coming to me with the bullshit. No, with health. Here's another thing. With life extension technology that is popping up more and more every day, these coots are going to start living longer, and coots are going to start getting cheaper because the longer you live, the more you have to have. So realize that. We're going to have a new age of conning cheap coot. But hopefully they can, get the body to turn back time too, so we don't have to look terrible while we age. I think that's cruel. Nobody should have to look terrible. And I'm sick of him news. Marlon Wayans honors Hulk Hogan amid backlash over late wrestlers' racist past. Why is it every time you can cocoon for Cocoa Puffs, you find a way to do it? I don't understand, Marlon. I don't understand. Do you need a flop? We'll give you a flop. You've had a lot of success out of a black audience. Please don't let this add up to your next flop. Other than your romantic life. Oh, God. So LeBron James is apparently cheating. And the internet was a bit upset and surprised. And apparently those in the know have said, yeah, he's been getting white women to sign NDAs for years. He just keeps his business out the street. But one heifer said, oh no, I will stand up and be counted. And I don't believe this one instant, because Bad Girls Season 9 cast member Christina Slagato claims James tried to fly her out, but she left him waiting at the airport after she found out he was married. Now, I will quote Tammy Roman. Ain't a motherfucker alive that don't know LeBron James ain't with that plain-faced heifer. What's her name? Shreveport. Everybody know he been with Shreveport. He staying with Shreveport. Shreveport got access to the money. Good old Shreveport. Happy for her. Seems like a lovely lady. So you knew, and you just wanted to have a moment to embarrass him, but also you're like, you ain't gonna catch me being the other woman either, so I'm gonna leave his ass at the airport. I'm gonna say I did my research and found out. I'm gonna act like I was a girl's girl. You're a huzzy's huzzy, and you a hoe's hoe. Did he do a little dance too? Oh God. Not asking in the comments, did he do a little dance too? Oh my God, I cannot. Okay, girl, well, here we go. Award-winning producer and business mogul Melody Cherie host exclusives behind the curtain premiere of the hot new realities, The Child Care Cartel. Executive produced by Sherry J. White. Actress? Melody Cherie is an actress? Girl, you get in one play in a church basement and you're an actress. I feel like asterisks should come with some of these titles. Award winning? What awards have you won? What bodies have deemed your work award worthy? Or did they just give you a participation trophy so your ass would show up so their event would get covered on the blogs? So they could say they had a local celebrity at the step and repeat. I'd like to know. Drake was the first person that told on LeBron James. Exactly. I'm with you, Joel. Actress. Really now. Oh my God. I love out of all the things I've said. When I said actress about Melody Cherie, that got the comments the most incensed. Actress. Actress? Actress. Yeah, honey, she's an actress. And everybody is all about manifesting and speak it until it's true. So I'm not going to deny her that right, but I will question her work. Maybe it should be manifesting actress. Manifesting actress. Are y'all going to be watching her new show, Child Care Cartel? Oh, God, is that Princess from Housewives of Atlanta? No, I'm a wish her well. I might peep at it. I wonder if it'll be on OWN. Sean Kingston's mother gets 15 years in $1 million luxury scam and claims she was trying to keep her son afloat in the music industry. Fat floats, heifer. Fat floats. He would have been fine. And honestly, his ass needed to sink. Ain't had a hit since Justin Bieber was sane. But you want to talk about keeping him a damn float. It was time for that stone to fall. Nobody cared anymore. He wasn't even in the studio. Y'all were just going around pretending he was still famous. Let's not talk about all the stunts you done pulled overseas. Y'all have just been bilking people out of money and free hotel stays for years because your time was up. But you've got 5 years in prison. And I mean, I would say that's $250,000 a year. So I wouldn't go to jail for that. But you are. In Housewives of Beverly Hills news, it may be a decent season. We have a housewife doing what we love housewives to do. Show her cervix for a quarter by filing for divorce in her first season. Don't get no better than that. Now, who is filing for divorce? Not Kyle Richards, because her divorce is more of a splitting up of assets. Mauricio's already moved on. She's old news to us and to her husband. Rachel Zoe's divorce, however, is going to be fresh and interesting. But her husband's not attractive. So, I mean, at least Mo was like, okay, well, maybe I stand a chance. But I don't want him. His hair greasy. Heather Dubrow says there is no coming back after Katie's secret recording is exposed. Now, I'm so glad I have all of you in the room and on the line. And anyone who's doing the replay, I would love for you to get down in the comments. So we have a Monica Garcia situation, I feel. So we all know Monica, receipts, proof, timelines, evidence. Katie on Housewives of Pink Toe is giving us kind of the same thing. Katie has admitted to calling bloggers, calling people outside of the show and putting them in touch with podcasts and ways to air other cast members out. And she's admitted to doing this because she was pissed off. She was supposedly on a business call at reunion or at some type of taping. Sharon Bador was freaking out. Katie recorded her secretly and then played the tape for Alexis. Well, there's the door, Sharon Bador. Bellino. Her mortal enemy, a woman that is now stooping her long-term partner and then turned around and married him. You gonna play that tape for yeah, I can't sit with you. I don't ever want to see you again. I'm gonna wish a good tumor on you. I'm gonna wish you a malignant tumor, and I hope it's inoperable. Let's just get down to brass tacks. If you record me without my consent and then run to the enemy, run to somebody I'm in court with, you deserve a shovel to the face. So it's foul. And I feel like this is the same shit Monica Garcia was doing, where it's like, we're all on a show together. We're all very vulnerable in front of each other. You know, we all know that production is going to throw us under the bus and use every embarrassing moment they can. But for you, another person in this with me, to do that as well, I think it's foul. And it gives me why they were so angry with Monica Garcia. And I can see why, Katie, you have broken the trust of these women, where it's like, we play this game in the blogs, but there's a fair way to play. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Sheena Shea is determined to remain relevant even though your show was canceled. And I guess this is your hard launch campaign to get yourself on the Valley. She's listed her 11 celebrity hookups. And they're honestly like kind of pass around. Like when you're in entertainment or entertainment adjacent, you hear about pass around people. And I'm like, the people on this list, I'm like, yeah, everybody sleeps with them. They sleep with every woman. It seems like Adrian Griner sleeps with every woman he comes in contact with. If you know Adrian Griner, you can get that dick. That is some easy dick to get. Shamar Moore, no, that's an accomplishment. Jesse Metcalf, another one. I don't know anybody who hasn't fucked him. Women now, I don't know any men. But like every gay friend I have has a girl that they're friends with that's like, oh yeah, I slept with them and they were there the night that it happened. Isn't it illegal in California? I don't know. And in regular white woman news, Paige DeSorbo admits to lying about her career before Summer House debut. She just made it up. I feel like that's how most people get their jobs. They just get a good lie and a good reference for that lie, and we move on. But speaking of not being able to move on, how do we feel as a people? And now we're all around the same age, so we all had the wonderful comfort show, From My Heart to Yours, Murder, She Wrote. Jamie Lee Curtis said a movie is coming and she's going to be, what the hell was her name? Because I was about to say Angela Lansbury. The Cabot Cove Pfeffer. What, Beatrix Kiddo? Jessica Fletcher. Jessica Fletcher. I like her, but I don't know if we need this remake. Why can't we get a new story? I also thought Octavia Spencer was supposed to play her in a TV reboot. I guess that didn't happen. And so now we're getting a movie. The show is a procedural. And so making a procedural 2 hours long, I don't know how that works. Do you notice how we don't have Law and Order movies because we have enough Law and Order? We have like 700 episodes of Murder, She Wrote. Just make it a show if you're going to make it a show. Just make it a show. I don't know. I'm concerned that it's not going to be good. What I do think will be good is the Braxtons. I have watched the trailer, and watching Toni get up on Tamar is good television because Tamar is a Muppet, but she's got a lot of mouth, but no felt behind it. No real felt behind that mouth. It seems like this season won't be focused as much on Tracy's passing, so I will be tuning in and reviewing it because that was just too sad for me. But I'm glad they're coming back, and I'm glad Tamar's going to be cussed out consistently throughout the season. Is that it? Oh, wait. Ghost and Tommy prequel is in the works at Stars. I never thought I would say this. I think it's time for the sun to set on the Power universe. I think there are other stories to tell. I loved Power. Baby Bop was kind of cute, but I would say I think Baby Bop's poor ending. And then did they just quit on Tommy's spinoff? Because then that heifer died. I'm tired too. I'm tired of it being so predictable with the love interest dying. Like, I'm tired. Y'all made it work and you made it twerk. We got 10 years out of it. Let it rest for 10 years and then bring it back. Like Ghost. All right, well, those were today's top stories from this bottom. So tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate.